People have asked me who choreographed that dance for me. I looked at myself and said, LassieLou, you choreographed it. I was 5. I know that when I went. One day, my dad got a call from my agent. Whoever was the one that called my dad said, Fred, have you heard anything about Uncle Tom's Cabin? And my dad said, no, I haven't. He said, well, you should be surprised. They've got the biggest child role for Eliza's son, little Harry. And they've been interviewing boys for weeks. They have not found one yet. Why don't you take Lassie down to Los Angeles, get her a little suit, and have her use your name? So I was nervous going over because saying a different name and all of that, you know, I mean, who I was. Yeah. And there was a lineup of kids. I went in and they said, well, hello there, young man. And I said, hello. And he said, do you know anything about Uncle Tom's Cabin? I said, no. And he said, well, we're making this big picture and we need a little boy that can do a lot of things because sometimes it's happy times and sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's very sad because they're going to steal this child away from his mother. Could you cry on camera? I mean, and I smiled and I turned around like that. And then I turned around and I held my hands out to Mrs. Fisher. I didn't do it to him. And I, Mommy, 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 help me, help me, help. Oh. She came kind of fast over toward me, you know, and she laid down and she picked me up and she says, she looked at him and said, look what you did. Oh, this is the funny part. And he looked at her, he says, what have we been doing here for weeks and weeks? We want somebody that can cry because we have to have a lot of it done in it. And she said, oh, she got a sheepish look on her face. Oh, I know. And he swirled around and looked at me. Yes, you can cry, I see that. And I kind of smiled at her. And he says, you're not a boy, are you? The words of death, you know. And I looked at him right in the eye and I said, no. He says, well, what is your, wait a minute. Set me down, got up, walked to the door, opened it, stuck his head out and said, thank you all for coming, but I found my little Harry. That's how I knew I had the part. I always loved to learn. I didn't fight schoolwork. Mostly I had a tablet that I did my numbers, you know, arithmetic. And then we read a lot, English and geography, and I knew quite a bit. You know, I learned through there and our travels. I was doing Helen Home cereals. I did so many of those. I had a lot of hair. I mean, you know, so it was easy to curl. When we were doing the Pacific Coast, we did more numbers than anybody else. The owners wanted to see what we were going to do next, you know. I walked on my hands so very beautifully. And one thing I say, like, come to me, I would be doing a soft shoe, come to me, my melancholy baby. I let my hands. Hitch kicks, bum, 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 up, audience, up, up, not stop dancing, just flowing, going on. Each day, I feel like I want to do a good day. I get up in the morning and say, LassieLou, you be kind to everybody. I make it my business to be kind. And I am told that I don't look 95.